Alrighty, here we are. Hiace, about 480,000 Ks on it. Original motor, hasn't really been touched. Ran perfect, dual fuel, gas injected. Ran perfect. Was a bit down on power, but then it slowly started, just tapping, and had a bit of a lump at idle. High speed was still fine. Time to pull the head off. I think it's either a head gasket or burnt valves. LPG tend to burn the valves a little bit. Not a bad job, not an easy job. The old 2Z 2.7 Hiaces were 2.4s were a lot easier to pull the head off. I done one in head off, head on, 4 hours. This thing, you've got to pull the timing cover off, timing chain out, everything off. Alternators, power steering, aircon. It's a nightmare. So I'm just going to go over the bills and get some Torx head spanner for the head bolts, and then we should lift straight off. Didn't do any work yesterday, it was raining, but today it's not too bad. So bit of tip, yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare. Bolts down on the bottom of the sump are hard to get to because the bloody cross member and power steering's there. Get them out from the top. I should have really marked which bolt went in where for the timing cover case, but I'll work it out. Shouldn't be too difficult. Let's have a look around here. You can see my perfect jack stands. Not much work to do underneath the van. It's all mainly coming from the top. I've never pulled one of these motors out before. I've done the 2.4 2RZ. They're pretty easy to come in and out. That's the timing case. So for 20,000 Ks, it looks, everything's just perfect. So I'll get new seals for it. Have a look at this. This is Toyota for you, and being serviced on time. 420,000 Ks, or 480, I think it is. That is the guide. Look at it. I had a Ford Transit here. Done a Ford Transit, stretched the chain, guides were ruined. This is just pristine. Everything's just so clean in this thing. Anyway, I'll get back to doing what I'm doing. Do you know what? I'll even treat you and put a new intake gasket on. What do you reckon? Normally don't like doing that, but I'll do it. All right, here we are back. I just had to borrow a 14mm socket from the neighbour. I can't find mine. Mine's in here somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Anyway, got the head off, and I had a feeling it was a blown head gasket, because when I done the leak down test, I put compressed air into number 4, and it was coming into number 3, which I thought was a bit weird. I thought, okay, maybe it's a leaking exhaust valve and coming back the exhaust and going in the intake of 3, but it didn't do it on 1 and 2. So I'll have a look. Have a look here. This is it, blown head gasket. Put it up against the white here. That's it. It's never overheated. It's never done anything it shouldn't have done. Always been serviced. I think it may be a problem with the car, but again, with 400,000 Ks on it. Look at these. Even these ones look a bit cracked. So that's a relief. Let's go check the head out, guys, and we'll see what we've got. Head should be in reasonably good nick, but I'm not going to put it back on as is. I'll tell you what's annoying though, this exhaust manifold, cannot get it off. You can't even get this out in the van, so you have to take it off with the exhaust on it, which is fine. Well, I didn't know that beforehand, but now I know. It's a bit annoying, but anyway. So let's have a look at this head. I might just put it on the, get a little blankie for him. So yeah, it's a bit of a, took me, I'd say if I had to put a time on it, it took me about maybe 6 hours, maybe five hours to take it off. That's with no special tools, doing it the first time. No air tools. Just going off what I know. Oh, oops, shouldn't have done that. There goes all the lifters. Anyway, I'll pause this and then get it back on. So let's do the right thing and pull these lifters out. Hopefully, no, they don't want to come out. Okay, I'll just leave them there. Oops. So let's roll this sucker over. So, oh, let's have a look here. Yeah, there it is. The coolant's been good coolant. Yeah, I've had it in there for a while, but it was expensive coolant. That's where it's blown. It's a bit of a shame. All the rest looks fine. I might even do a leak test and just to see how the valves are. Maybe it was just running a bit hot on the back one. Never overheated, never cooked. Always had water in it. So it's never even used a drop of water. It's been a bloody reliable van. So over and out, boys. Over and out. Oh, we'll have a look up here again. So if I was going to suggest anything to the people watching, if anyone is watching, it's not a bad job. I'm no mechanic by any means, but I can do bits and pieces. So if you know how to take stuff apart, go ahead. If you don't know how to put stuff together, don't do it. If you tend to do a Lego kit and have 10 Lego pieces left over, this is not the job for you. But if you're pretty confident, it's a bit of a bugger of a job, but I think I'm happy now that it's not anything more than just a blown head gasket. That's weird. I've never had a head gasket just blow, which I find strange. These boards are nice. I don't know if the block needs to be decked. It shouldn't have to. All right, we'll call it a day. Started up about 1 o'clock, so, and the time's now probably 3 or 4. So 3 hours today, 2.5 hours. I fiddled it around a bit, and then 2 hours a couple of days ago. I'd say 4 hours to get it off, and that's taking my time. So that's the head done. Just a bit shaved off, valves cleaned, everything's all tidy. Everything looks good. He said. Valves recut. Perfect. So I think the first port of call. Couldn't find some information. I don't have a service book for the head specs for the bolt specs, but I've sort of checked on YouTube and there's a couple of videos about it, so I've done that. I think the first thing I'm going to do is really give this top of the head a clean. I've got some sandpaper, sand it back a little bit to get all this stuff off it. Between 3 and 4 was where the head gasket blew. I think the head gasket looked pretty thin on these other ones, but if I just wind it back, get the pistons down a bit, fill them up, and then I've got some wet and dry sandpaper. I've got a sanding block. So about 200, 300 sandpaper I've got just over here. Got the head gasket set. It's a multi-layered steel head gasket. Got the new pipe as well. Didn't need it, but got that from Toyota. It was about $70. The old one was good, but I didn't want to put it back on. And what else we got over here? All the bits and pieces. Bit of a mess, but it's just been on and off with the weather's been shocking. So I'll see if we get some good updates. Got some parts cleaner. Got the radio. Got my Chinese work boots on. Good to go. Apart from that, I think I should have it going today. But I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to do it properly. I normally tend to rush things, so I think I'll do this one proper. And yeah, let's get this head sorted out a bit, clean her up a bit. Beautiful. Let's do it. So here we are. I gave the block a bit of a sand, 320 wet and dry first, and then a bit of 200. No, sorry, other way around. 200 and then 320. Come up beautiful. All right, back again. We've got the head on. Cleaned it up, put the head gasket in. Don't forget that one. That's important. Got the new head bolts. You use the old head bolt washers. Make sure you oil them up a bit. Got a little bucket of oil where I put the push rods in as well, just to get them soaking. Again, I couldn't find any decent specs, so I had to do this one. Quick drawing. 39 Newton meters to start off with in the sequence. Turn 90, do the sequence again, and then turn another 90. Little lube on the front, 2 spots there, and one on the other side where the timing case comes onto. I've got it on top dead center, but I just don't know which way it is. I'll have to double check. Should be fine. Tighten these up and I'll get back to you. Alright, we've got our little marks on the bolts, little white marks. Took me longer to find. We call it liquid paper, Tipex, whatever you want to call it, Americans. Put them on marked at the front, so we've got to do 90, so they'll be facing me, and then another 90, they'll be facing the back of the car. Lock it in, Larry. Beautiful. Look at the day. It's going to rain tomorrow, so I've got to get cracking. Time to get these lifters back in. So I pop them in. Grab that. Oh, it's a bit old. There. Get them back in. Probably not. Everyone's going to go, don't put it there, you'll drop them in there. Oh. Don't worry. Settle down, everyone. Put them back in. All right, I've got the push rods in, got the rockers on, lubed it up a little bit. I'll just tip a little bit. People just love watching this oil drip everywhere. Look at that, beautiful. I'll do that. For some reason, it's just one of those things people love watching. All right, done that. Move that out of the way a little bit. Now we'll get the cam in. Cams, and then beauty. Cams just sitting, and then we'll get my box of bearing caps. Here we go. A lot of people have other ways to do it. I like doing it like this. I'm not really an expert, but intake, exhaust, all lined up, ready to go. So I've just got them lightly in there. I just needed to spin the crank a couple of times. So they're only lightly in there. I had to spin the crank a couple of times to get the timing marks on the oil pumps. It's a bit hard to see. But I had to spin it maybe 30 times to get the yellow mark on here. I don't know if it makes a difference, but everyone lines it up with the orange mark. So the orange mark, or yellow mark is here on the pulley, and then these other marks lined up. So again, I don't know if it makes a difference or if you need to do it. That one there. So I had to spin the crank about, I'd say at least 30 times. Every mark was close. And there's 2 marks lined up down there, and the double yellow is on the bottom of the crank pulley. Yeah, again, don't know if it makes a difference, but let's do it properly, boys. All right, we've got the cams capped, torque down. I think it's like 12 foot-pounds. My torque wrench is in foot-pounds. Got the new seals under here and under here. I haven't tightened that up yet. Got our timing marks on the front here. Orange mark where the hole is, orange mark where the hole is, and down the bottom of the pulley, it's hard to see. Just got the chain tensioner. Going to put a new gasket on that. Just a little pin I found to hold it back. Going to install that and see how we go. All right, here we are. We've got it running. Took a bit of time to do the timing cover. All the stuff, the manifold, it's on gas, so that was a nightmare. All the hoses. Got a bit of a knock here, a bit of a tick. That goes away. Just a tick. Oh, it's actually only 450,000, so let's get some water in it, some oil in it. Give it a good gurney. Should be good to go. Yeah, that tapping noise has gone away. Not a bad day. What is it, about 5 o'clock? Started about 10, had lunch. I'd say 5 hours. 5 hours of not rushing, which is not bad. 4 hours to take off, 5 hours to put on. I could have done it in a day, I reckon, on and off, a full day. Now that tacking noise is gone, so just a bit of oil in the lift, I'd say. Beautiful. Just check that speedo again. 451 kilometres, original, on gas.